What made Eastern Front resilience so remarkable? Imagine fighting in a war where the ground itself seems to test your endurance every day. The Eastern Front during World War II was just that kind of battlefield. It stretched across millions of square miles, from the icy forests of the north to the deserts of the south. The scale alone was staggering, with battles involving hundreds of thousands of soldiers on each side. But what really made the resilience of the fighters their stand out was how they kept going despite the chaos and hardships. The Soviet soldiers fought with incredible determination. They believed they were defending their homeland, their families, and their way of life. This sense of defending Mother Russia gave them a powerful reason to keep fighting, even after suffering huge losses. In battles like Stalingrad, soldiers refused to give up, fighting fiercely to hold their ground. They endured brutal conditions, including freezing winters and shortages of supplies, yet they kept pushing forward. Their willingness to absorb heavy casualties and launch continuous counterattacks frustrated the German forces time and again. The Soviet Union had a massive advantage in resources and manpower. They could quickly mobilize millions of soldiers and produce large amounts of tanks, planes, and artillery. Factories located east of the Ural Mountains kept working safely from German bombs, churning out equipment at a rapid pace. Many Soviet vehicles and weapons were built to be simple and sturdy, so even less trained soldiers could operate them. The United States also helped through the Lend-Lease program, sending supplies that kept Soviet forces well-equipped and ready to fight. Another key factor was the vastness of the Soviet Union itself. Its enormous size created a natural shield, making it hard for German supply lines to stay intact. The terrain and harsh winters made it difficult for the Germans to advance and sustain their campaigns. The scorched earth tactics used by the Soviets destroyed resources that could have helped the Germans, slowing their progress. The winter of 1941 to 1942 was especially tough for the Germans, as freezing temperatures froze their equipment and halted their push toward Moscow. German commanders underestimated how determined the Soviets were to fight. They also failed to realize how many reserves the Soviets had stored away. Their plans often relied on quick victories, but the Soviet resilience turned those plans into failures. The Germans also faced their own problems, including strict discipline and harsh policies that only strengthened Soviet resolve rather than weakening it. Both sides showed strong cohesion and morale. German troops stayed committed, driven by ideology and fear, while Soviet soldiers drew strength from patriotic messages and leadership that emphasized defending their homeland. Despite the brutal conditions and heavy losses, the Soviet Union kept fighting, showing a level of endurance that surprised many. Their ability to recover from setbacks and continue fighting was unmatched, making the Eastern Front one of the most intense and decisive theaters of the war. All these factors combined to make the resilience on the Eastern Front truly remarkable. It was a mix of fierce patriotism, massive resources, strategic geography, and miscalculations by the Germans. This resilience helped shape the outcome of the war and demonstrated how determination can turn the tide even in the most brutal conflicts.